Hi guys, if this is your first time on my channel, welcome. If you are a returning watcher, what's poppin'? How you doing? Thank you so much for supporting me and watching this video, and I really do hope you stay and you come back and watch more videos and like more videos and enjoy more videos and all that good stuff. So today I will be talking about my sophomore year at Stanford, along with why I feel that I wasted my first 2 years at Stanford, hence the title. So for my sophomore year of college, I did add more of a coursework load for myself. Fall quarter, I was in 18 units, which is, it's 18 units. It's not 12. And that's not to say 12 units isn't hard, but for me, 18 units was a big jump because my spring freshman year, I was in 11 units, which is actually below the minimum of units required, but that's a whole nother story. We can talk about that later. I was in 18 units, and it was challenging for me. It was really hard for me, but I did very well that quarter. Like, my GPA was above a 3.0, which I was personally proud of myself because my GPA for the past 3 quarters were boo-boo. Like, when I tell you it was boo-boo, it was literally boo-boo. So I was really proud of myself that it was over 3.0 and that I had done so much better than I did freshman year. Sophomore year was pretty uneventful for me, academic-wise, I suppose. Social-wise, it was pretty eventful. I was the president of the Nigerian Student Association. I helped the Stanford African Student Association plan the cultural show. I was actually like spearheading that. It was a lot of hard work. It was so stressful, but I got it done, and it was a great event. And I will, if I can, put some footage of the cultural show in there. I became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, the first and the finest, don't forget. So those were the big highlights socially. And then after spring quarter ended, I started thinking a lot, and I was like, Sean, what have you done these past 2 years? Like, I didn't even take enough classes towards my major, and I actually didn't declare until like the summer, but that's a whole nother story. And I was like, okay, I've done this, now what do I need to do to graduate on time, and what is it that I really want to get out of college? Of course, it's a question you should always ask yourself. A couple of things came to mind. One of the biggest things for me was that I wanted to re-look at the pre-med requirements and see if there was anything that is feasible for me to do in my undergraduate career. As many of you may know, if you follow me, you know that I was on a pre-med track. I want to take pre-med requirement classes so I can go into medical school. And after taking Chem 31 A and B, I decided that I think I might want to do a postback and just take all my pre-med requirements after my 4 years and just not deal with it at all. I've been so blessed to go to one of the top institutions in the world for free, and I felt like I wasn't taking advantage of that. Ultimately, I want to graduate from college and medical school with as little debt as possible, and I felt that adding a postback would just increase the amount of money I owed. And I know that taking out loans is personally investing in yourself and your education, but I personally want to reduce the monetary investment that I have to put in myself. So I really told myself that, honestly, Sean, you should try to take some of these pre-med requirements right now instead of having to deal with it later. And I also talked to other people who were in postbacks, some people who have a few classes that they didn't take versus some people who did all the requirements at Stanford. And overall, I felt like it was a better decision for me to apply myself and try to get them done undergrad. So I met with a pre-med advisor, and from my conversation with her, I found that it is possible for me to finish my pre-med requirements in the next 2 years. However, it wasn't going to be easy, but lucky for me, the pre-med requirements did change a bit, where the chem classes were like put together, so it's less chem classes. I don't know what they did, but whatever they did, it worked in my favor. So there's like less chem classes, still the same content, but less chem classes. And I'm at a place where my next 2 years at Stanford are going to be about 18 units plus every quarter, which is not ideal, but it's not impossible too. And I do feel that as long as I apply myself, I can get it done. And I think the biggest thing for me is my first 2 years at college, I didn't have confidence in myself. I didn't have confidence in my academic ability, let me put it that way. I felt that I wasn't smart enough. I felt like these classes weren't for me. The moment it seemed hard, I was just like, you know what? I'm done with that class. It's not for me. Good riddance to hard classes. But this time I've really been thinking about, Sean, okay, have you done everything in your power to succeed in those classes? And I know that I don't have the best study habits. I know that I don't go to office hours always. I know I don't ask questions. And these are big things that can contribute to someone's success in class. And I know I hadn't been doing that stuff. So I told myself that, Sean, why don't you try that along with these classes, and maybe it won't be as hard. It'll still be challenging, but it'll be manageable. So these next 2 years, I really want to enter my junior and senior year with a more confident mindset, believing in myself more, believing in my academic ability, and always telling myself that I got into Stanford for a reason. Being at Stanford, it's really hard to stay confident in yourself, and sometimes you wonder, why did I get in? Like, I'm not meant to be here, I can't handle these classes. And I feel like that's a sentiment that every Stanford student has for the most part. It gets hard, it does, but I do feel like with this new mindset I have and building this confidence in myself, these next 2 years won't be fun, but it'll be doable, and I will get them done because I really want to save as much time as possible. I definitely am not trying to go to medical school immediately outside of undergrad. I do want to take a gap year or two to get some work experience in and study and just, you know, just take a break from school before going to medical school. But I don't want to have to add a postback program to that plan. So that's what I've been doing. And in terms of my major, I feel like I didn't take enough classes my first 2 years, so now I have to pack on the psych classes these next 2 years, which is why I say that I feel like I wasted my first 2 years here, because now I'm in a position where I have to take so many classes in the next 2 years that I could have spread out over the 4 years, but now I have to do it in 2 years. And I probably just said that like 300 times, but oh well. By God's grace, and as long as everything goes to plan, I will graduate in time, and I will have completed all of my pre-med requirements. I might have to do one class, but that's math, but you know, that's math, but I can do that anywhere. So that's where I am. My advice for entering freshman or sophomore, still trying to figure out what you want to do, it is okay to explore. It's definitely okay to not know what you want to do. It's okay to like not have a clear path of what you're trying to do in life, but it really is important to have a rough draft 4-year plan for yourself, and also be open to other majors. Like, it wasn't until this summer that I was doing more research that I found a whole bunch of majors that I might have been interested in, but I didn't explore because I was just like, okay, I'm majoring in psychology, and that was it. I found out that Stanford has a medical anthropology major, and I'm just like, what? No one told me this. And I'm not trying to switch my major in like 2 years of college. It's not impossible, but that's not something I want to do. So my biggest advice is definitely research the majors out there. It's good to know what you want to do, but it's also good to have an open mind. And at the same time, if you don't know what you want to do, it's still good to kind of have a rough draft of something out there. That's my sophomore year and kind of like my college career at a glance so far. If you have any questions for me or want to know more about my story or like kind of the decisions I made in college and the decisions I'm making moving forward, please feel free to inbox me or comment below. Please like, share, and subscribe. I do these videos for you guys, and I want to keep doing them, so please subscribe. I will see you guys soon. Bye. Hello.